invitation for today's class, and just a reminder, is that yoga is about listening to your body and doing what works for you. And so opt out of anything that doesn't work for you, modify and use as many props as you need to be comfortable and take good care of you. And many of us, most people who join me, are high achieving women of some kind. And most of us are not used to taking the time to support ourselves well and take care of ourselves well. So use yoga practice as a practice for the rest of your life. What we practice on the mat, we also bring into our lives afterwards. And so today we'll start lying down to mix it up a little bit. Soles of the feet will be together, knees will be apart, and you can put a block or a bolster under your knee. And you will lower yourself down kindly, and you can do a hand to heart, hand to belly, or two arms above you in a cactus shape, or anything that feels good to your arms, maybe even a T shape. And I invite you, as you're here, to notice the earth underneath you. Taking a moment to bring mind, body, and spirit into the same spot. A moment to pause and to be present and to notice how you feel. Letting your brain slow down. Perhaps your life to slow down, so that you are present in the moment. You might even notice that things hurt or don't feel good, and perhaps just letting that wash over you as you slow down. Or you might notice how amazing it feels to take a few moments for you to slow down. So allowing yourself here to enjoy for a moment. Noticing what feels good. Noticing the breath pouring in through your nose, traveling around your body and out through your mouth. Lengthening both the inhale and the exhale. Lengthening them with ease, not pressured, not forced. Breathing in and breathing out. And if your hands are on your heart and your belly, notice your chest and belly rise with the inhale and fall with the exhale. Taking a moment to notice how you are supported by the earth underneath you. All the things within that are working well today, shifting our focus. And today my invitation is actually fun. And I have been reading an amazing book about fun, which I will share more about later. But the invitation is that true fun is one of the things that most of us are missing out on in life. And we aren't setting our intention to it, and we aren't enjoying it. And that the lack of true fun is very much contributing to loneliness and a lot of the depression and anxiety and other mental health struggles that we have. And so the invitation of the book is that fun is a blend of playfulness, it's a blend of flow, and it's a blend of connection. And so I invite you on your mat today to play with this idea of playfulness, and to play with the idea of flow, and to play with the idea of connection. And inherently, when we practice yoga, we connect back to ourselves. We connect with presence, which is a requirement for fun, being in the moment. We rarely experience fun when we are ahead of ourselves or looking at the past. So practicing being present with yourself and with your body, and being in flow. In flow is when you lose track of time, when time just passes. And for me, that happens very often on my yoga mat. Maybe not the whole time, but you go in and out of flow. And so allowing yourself to enjoy the flow, to connect with that, it feels like to be in flow, so that after the mat, after your practice, you can notice where you find flow off your mat. And then playfulness is something many of us don't do that much of, bringing in lightness, bringing in lack of judgment. And as many of you may or may not know, I'm also trained in kids yoga. And in kids yoga, we bring in tons of playfulness and lightness. And so I offer that yoga sometimes we think is serious. It's about being calm and setting an intention to relax and working hard to do that. And yet it can also be play and fun. And when we invite that in, often these shifts and the relaxation are even greater. So I invite you to think about this idea of fun in your life, and I invite you to think about true fun. We schedule a lot of fun, which is often not fun. And so what does fun look like to you? What does it feel like? How might you notice the fun that already exists? Allow yourself to enjoy it. And how might you create more of it? How might you allow it, give yourself permission to have fun? When we set an intention to enjoy fun, we notice fun. So much more fun begins to trickle in or pour in. So if you don't have hands to heart, bring a hand to heart and a hand to belly and just connect with this idea of fun in your life. How might you create more fun, enjoy more fun? And if you struggle to connect with fun, connect with this idea of playfulness, connection, and flow. How might you bring more playfulness in? How might you bring more connection in? How might you bring more flow in? And even here today, we're not only connecting with ourselves, we're connecting with each other, everyone else practicing together in this moment. There are quite a few people here today, connecting to them virtually and in spirit, energetically, and letting that yourself enjoy the connection, letting it in. Perhaps shifting your judgment of fun. What if fun were important? What if fun were valuable? What if fun, just like rest, were productive? There's much science that it is. And what do we need to have fun? It's presence. It's non-judgment. It's relaxation. Letting go. Allowing yourself to be you, authentically you, accepting reality, not resisting. That's when we find these moments of fun and flow and connection and playfulness. All of those things are available to us in any moment. They are all inherent in the practice of mindfulness and the practice of yoga, which is a movement practice of mindfulness. And so I invite you today to bring those thoughts in, to set an intention to have fun, to notice fun, create fun, enjoy fun, invite fun, welcome fun. Allow yourself to notice where you have fun already. And to bring playfulness, connection, and flow into this practice, and perhaps beyond. So taking in a big deep breath here, and a huge exhale. And another big inhale in through your nose, long, sweet, and even. And exhaling out through your mouth, long, sweet, and even. And you'll bring your hands to your thighs and draw your knees together. Allowing that to let go of that stretch. And you'll hug your knees into your chest, giving them a squeeze and having a rock massaging your sacrum taking good care of your lower back. And perhaps, if it works for you, coming into a happy baby, soles of the feet reach towards the sky and your knees will press towards the earth, and notice the stretching in your back and invite it, and have a little fun with the rock. Enjoy it. As many of you know, I have an 8-month-old grandson and he just enjoys life. He's always in the moment, playful, connected to all the humans around him, and essentially in flow without judgment. We untrain that, but could we bring a little more of it back? If any of you have capacity to straighten one leg, you can do that and bend it and straighten the other leg, and have some humor and lightness if this doesn't work for you. A little bit more of a rock. And you'll bring the soles of your feet together, press your heels into your groin, and just enjoy a bit of a release there, a letting go. Letting go with the breath here as well, breathing in, and on the exhale, let go and release tension, stress, whatever you're holding. Much of the time, to enjoy fun, we just have to let go of all the stuff we're holding. Put it down, set it down for a moment. We can pick it up later. Release your hands, lower your feet to the floor, and you'll stretch your legs long in front of you, lying flat on the mat. Reach your arms above you, long and tall, stretching your whole body from one end to the other. Enjoy the stretch. Enjoy each cell as it grows longer. Point your toes, wiggle your fingers towards the sky, wiggle your toes as light as you can. Huge inhale, and exhale, let it out, drop your shoulders. You will take your right thumb and middle finger, grab your left wrist, walk your right heel to the right front corner of the mat, bring your left ankle atop the right ankle, grab the left wrist and tug it to the right. You're coming into a banana. Breathing into every nook and cranny of the left side body here. Notice if you're holding your breath or tight. Use the breath to soften and release, breathing in and out. And wiggling your fingers to invite that playfulness and lightness in. Uncross your feet, walking them all the way to the left. Left heel will be in the left front corner. Right heel will be atop. You'll switch the clasp of your hands and tug your right wrist to the left and enjoy the whole right side body. Breathing in and out. Enjoying each cell as it picks up the oxygen and stretches. Noticing those tiny little fibers in the waist and the armpit. And enjoying your banana. Coming back to center, uncrossing your feet, releasing your hands. You will bend your knees and once again, squeeze yourself into a tight ball like a pill bug, squeezing everything as tight as you can. Squeeze your face muscles as tight as you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, release your feet to the floor. Coming into soles of the feet, we're going to come into a bridge pose here. You can readjust your sacrum, readjust your feet so things feel good. If you are someone who likes to do a supported bridge, slide the block under your sacrum. For everyone who wants to do an active bridge, soles of the feet will be on the floor, your palms will be on the floor by your waist, your feet are hips width. Bring your heels slightly closer to your rear end, press into your feet, lift your hips up towards the sky, shimmy your shoulders underneath you. And shimmy them so your heart is exposed, open-hearted, light, lifting your hips up. Fun requires this open-heartedness, lack of judgment. It's just embracing love and fun and humans and humor and all the funny things out there. Lifting your hips up a little bit higher, enjoying huge breath in, filling your heart space, filling the pericardial space. Letting everything in your chest feel light. Untuck your shoulders and slowly rolling down, allowing yourself to enjoy being present in the moment, noticing each little micro movement here. as you land your sacrum and rear end on the floor. Take a moment to pause and notice, be present and enjoy. Huge inhale and exhale. You'll bring your right knee in towards you, grab your right shin and extend your left leg long. Hug that knee in towards you. Huge breath in. Exhale, allow your right hip socket, hip femoral head to fall laterally into the hip socket. Huge breath in, hugging it in tighter. And exhale, let it out. Bring your hands to the back of your thigh, to your hamstring. Extend your right leg long towards the sky. If you have capacity, press your heel towards the sky and your toes towards your nose. Do this lightly here, not pushing, enjoying. Point your toes to the sky and flex your toes towards your nose. Wiggle your toes, spread your toes wide, playfully enjoy your toes. Babies use their toes and enjoy them and suck on them and do all kinds of things. We pretend we don't have them. Point your toes, noticing that these toes and just this tiny shift in the ankle creates a huge shift. Roll your ankle in one direction and the other. Come to stillness. Heel reaches to the sky and your hamstring presses into your hands. Pressing, huge breath in. Exhale, release. And bend your right knee, lowering it down alongside the left leg. And just take a moment and let yourself feel lopsided. Enjoy the authenticity of just being totally lopsided for a moment. Huge breath in and out. And note both knees to start. Hug your left knee in towards you. Huge breath in, hugging it tight, tight, tight. Exhale, let the femoral head fall laterally into the hip socket. Straight your right leg. Point your right toes. Flex them towards the sky. And wrap your right inner thigh a little bit medially. Engage the right leg fully. Huge breath in and out. Bring your hands behind your thigh, extend your left leg towards the sky. Heel presses towards the ceiling. Point your toes towards your nose, flexing your ankle. Point your toes towards the sky. Don't forget to breathe. Toes towards your nose, spread your toes as wide as you can, wiggle them, enjoy them. Notice with each movement of the big toe or the little toes, what happens in your shins, little foot muscle fibers waking up. Point your toes once again and roll your ankle in either direction, enjoying every little bit of sensation. Allow yourself to be in flow here as you roll the ankle. Come to stillness. Press your heel to the sky, hamstring into your hands, lengthening the back of the leg, enjoying it. Draw the femoral head down towards the earth as you do this. Huge breath in and out. Let your left knee bend, pardon me, lower it to the floor and all the way down alongside the right. Notice how you feel. Take a moment to relax everything. Let yourself melt into the floor. Bend your knees once again. You're going to knock your knees together. Feet will be on the outer edges of the mat. Line up the outer edges of your feet with the mat. If it works okay for your shoulders, bring your hands over your shoulders into a cactus shape. You can hold a wrist if that works, or fingers. Do what works for your shoulders for a T, or leave them at your sides. Huge breath in. Drop your knees to the right. Left knee is going to extend towards the front right corner of the mat. Breathing into that left hip. The psoas, the hip flexor. Enjoy it. Huge breath in. Wiggling your fingers and your toes here, not taking it too seriously. Inviting that playfulness and lightness. And out. You'll bring your knees back to center and windshield wiper them to the left side this time. Right knee reaches towards the front left corner of the mat, and enjoy the whole line of the right side body here. Breathing into it, and you can decide if stillness feels better or wiggling. Notice what your body needs today. Your shoulders might even need a wiggle. Let your body inform you. Be present enough to listen. We'll draw our knees back to center. Draw your knees over to whichever side you want to roll over to, and you'll press yourself up to a seat. And we'll flip right over to hands and knees. Some of you may want a blanket under your knees if your knees are cranky or tender. Coming to hands and knees, find a stable spot. Even out your hips, spread your fingers wide, create beautiful pie shapes between each two fingers. Press the palms flat into the earth. Straighten your elbows. Your humeral heads will be in the shoulder sockets. Find your navel, your belly, your solar plexus, your center. Huge breath in right into your belly button. Stretch your crown of your head to the sky, hips to the sky, coming into cow pose. Exhale, sucking the navel all the way in, coming into cow pose. Allow yourself to play with this cat-cow here. Inhale, coming into cow. And exhale, round. And notice that play is a bit intentional, and fun is what happens when you go into the flow and you just lose track of time. Let yourself be so present in the movement and the flow that it just feels good. You don't really know what you're doing. Rather than thinking of breathing in and breathing out, just enjoy it. Coming back to stillness. Find your center, your balance, perhaps readjust your wrists if need be. Extend your right leg long onto your tippy toes. Drop your right heel, reach your right arm to the sky. Wiggle your fingers, huge breath in. Exhale, drop your right arm over your right ear. If you wish, inhale and raise your right foot to balance. Wiggling your toes and your fingers, stretching your right heel is pressing towards the far wall and your ankle is flexed at 90 degrees. Stretch your right arm, your right elbow should be straight. Lower your right foot to the floor. Bring your right arm up to the sky. Drop it into the right hip crease and roll your right shoulder open, gazing upwards. And just enjoy the breath, pouring it into that heart space and letting it out. Reach your right arm up to the sky once again. You're going to raise your right arm, your right foot back up. Right leg is parallel to the hip, perhaps a little bit lower. Bend the right knee, and if you can, you'll reach your right ankle. Only some of you will be able to do this. It's not a sufficiency test. Just enjoy it, and if you can, play with it, have fun, let yourself tip and wobble. Enjoy the front of the right thigh if it works for you. Hugging your heel towards your rear end. Release your hand, stretch your leg long, reach your arm up to the sky, lower your foot down. Take big arm circles with your right arm, 3 in the forward direction and 3 coming backwards. Close your eyes and enjoy it as you circle. When you're complete, come back to hands and knees. Enjoy a cow and a cat, and perhaps another one. Let your neck relax as you do this, letting go of any tightness there. Coming back to hands and knees, extend the left leg, drop your heel to the floor, reach your right arm to the sky. Exhale, drop the right arm, left arm over the left ear. Apparently I haven't had enough coffee. Inhale, the left foot up to hip height. Balancing here. Inviting fun, meaning no judgment, presence. Perhaps even close your eyes, the wobbles will increase. You can wiggle fingers and toes, you can roll out ankles, see what happens. Open your eyes. Drop your left foot to the floor, reach the left arm to the sky. Left arm's gonna wrap into the right hip crease, bring your shoulder back and gaze upward. Enjoy your heart space in your chest. Pouring the light, the air, the energy in through your nose, down into that chest space, perhaps down through your arm into the floor. Huge cleansing breath out, using the breath to let go and release. Letting go of judgment, tightness, expectations. They all get in the way of fun. They get in the way of presence. Reach that left arm back up. Reach your right foot back up. Coming back into this balance, you'll bend your left foot. I'm not sure what's going on with my brain today. Your heel will come to your rear end and you will try to balance. You maybe have a better balance on this side or not as good a balance. Letting go of judgment of the balance, just appreciate whatever works. And if it doesn't work, balance your foot or leave it on the floor. Breathe in and enjoy the stretch. Set the intention to enjoy it. Maybe even let it be fun, playful. Release the left foot, bringing your arm back up. You'll lower your foot to the floor and roll the shoulder. Huge windmill-like circles in both directions. Letting go of the stickiness, inviting the flow. And when you feel complete, coming back to hands and knees. Bend your elbows, drop into puppy pose. Your forearms are flat on the floor, palms are flat on the floor, fingers spread wide, lower your forehead to the floor and sink your hips back wherever they're comfortable. Do this in a comfortable way and you'll walk your arms forward. It's also called melting heart. Envision your heart melting to the floor. And envision puppies as they do this. They are having fun. Also usually asking for pets, but allowing a little bit of lightness in here. The connection of puppies coming to you in this funny pose. Enjoying your armpits, your arms, your shoulders, perhaps wiggle your hands a little farther forward. Many of us carry a lot of tightness in the shoulders. Let it melt. Use the breath. Inviting softness, flexibility, ease. Shifting forward into Sphinx pose, you're gonna untuck your knees. Your belly will come flat to the floor. Untuck your toes, balls of the feet will be on the earth. As you come back up through your body, the front of your hips is on the floor and your heart is light, shining forward. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Connecting with open-hearted here, while also sending love and care to your lower back. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, melt the front of your hips into the floor, reach the crown of your head to the sky. Breathing into that open heart, letting it shine forward, letting you be seen, being yourself. Your heart being an integral part of you. Press your elbows into the floor as you exhale, press the front of your hips into the floor, sending love to the lower back. You'll curl your toes and press back into child's pose. Child's pose after Sphinx is always kind. We don't have fun when we are not being kind to ourselves. Lower your forehead to the floor. Enjoy a really deep, juicy child's pose. Breathing in and out. 3 more breaths. Letting yourself be present here. Child's pose can even be fun. It's very much a relaxation in the moment.
a lot of connection. The internal cells of your body are in flow here, even if your whole body is not. Identifying any dams or blockages, things that are getting in the way of the flow, softening them, making room for fun. Letting go of any judgment around the idea of setting an intention for fun, that it's not of value or it's not productive. Just like rest is one of the most productive things we can do for our brains and our bodies.
Pressing back up to hands and knees. You walk your hands forward to handprint and curl your toes, lift up into downward dog. And enjoy your dog. Let yourself have fun here. Noticing that that is flow, it's connection and playfulness. Rocking your hips perhaps side to side. You can lift up onto your tippy toes, press your hips to the sky. Your hips are the apex. And enjoying the stretch as if you're a dog who's really stretching. They always look like they're having fun and enjoying it. Being in that dog. Huge breath in to your heart space where there's lots of lightness and space and room. Lifting up on the tippy toes, lowering your heels down and letting yourself enjoy and welcome the shifts and the movement. Pausing here and noticing and letting yourself enjoy. Welcoming the joy, the release, whatever you notice here. Find your hands and your fingers, flatten your palms into the earth. The ball of the left foot grounds downward. Inhaling into your belly button, raise your right leg towards the sky. Bend your knees, stack your hips, and you'll roll your right side open as far as you can. A little bit like a dog relieving themselves. Roll your ankle, enjoy the flow in the ankle. Enjoy the front of the hip. Shake your head, yes and no, rolling your head and neck. Letting the flow in with the head and the ankle. Re-square your hips. Press your heel to the back wall, engaging your belly, engaging everything. Draw your knee into your nose. Place your foot on the floor and rise up into a high lunge, knowing that there'll be a lot of wiggles and wobbles, and just find your way. And when you arrive, reorganize yourself with humor. Whatever has misplaced itself, be kind. If you are unstable, widen your feet, narrow your stance. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, sink your hips down, stretch your back heel back. You should have a lovely calf stretch. Breathing in and out. Let this be fun. Roll your wrists, let yourself be in flow in either direction. Take your right thumb and middle finger, grab your left wrist, tug gently to the right, just slightly. Huge breath in and out. Coming back to center. Bring your hands together, bring your hands to heart center. Your thumbs will press into your sternum to help you balance. Straight your front knee and bend it. Allow yourself to sink into the flow of this. Straight the knee and bend it. Once more, straight and bend that front knee and pause. Noticing and embracing the wiggles and the wobbles. Lower your hands to the floor. You'll hop your back foot forward, coming into a pyramid pose. I invite you to grab your blocks here, or some of you may want to use a chair or a stool for pyramid. The more you support yourself, first of all, the more fun it is. And there's more release. Letting yourself melt here. Melting into the stretch, releasing your head and neck. Rolling your neck, shaking your head yes and no, or rolling it in circles. Notice what feels good. And notice your breath. Is your breath flowing? Lifting up all 10 toes, inviting playfulness, spreading them wide, lowering them down. Shifting your weight forward a little bit playfully and backward, lifting the right toes up a little bit, wiggling them, spreading them wide. Coming back to center. Inhale for a half lift, your back is flat. Exhale, fold forward, release over the right leg. Huge breath in and out. Let the breath flow. Let the energy flow in the back of that right leg. Some of you will stay here. We're gonna move the blocks forward and come into an L shape, or some people call it a half splits. You're gonna bring your left heel up, press your left heel into the back wall. You'll walk the blocks forward and you'll come into a standing out. It's a bit of a balance pose. Breathe, don't hold your breath. Roll your left ankle, inviting that play and lightness. Some of you may wish to bring your left hand a little bit more center, reach your right arm forward. You can come into a balance here, if that's fun. Sometimes trying it and following is fun, but don't hurt yourself. Fun does not involve pain. Lower your right hand, reset up your blocks. You'll lower your back foot to the earth, walking the blocks back. Drop your back foot. We're gonna come into warrior two here. So your back foot is on an angle, coming upright and cartwheeling into warrior two. Having fun with this one. Take a moment here to reorganize your hips. You're gonna square your waist a bit more forward towards the front. Gaze is over the right middle finger. Your right knee is bent over the right ankle and the right foot. Reach the crown of your head to the sky. Huge inhale and exhale, sink in. Allow yourself to enjoy the warrior two. Flip your right palm up to the sky. Drop your left hand down the left thigh and arch backwards into graceful, peaceful warrior. Elegant warrior. Inviting the breath to pour in through the whole right front body here. Huge breath in. Exhale, slide your left hand a smidge more and enjoy. Cartwheel back to warrior two. You'll bring your right arm, rest it lightly on your right thigh, coming into side angle, or if you happen to have your blocks, you'll place your hand on the block and reach your left arm over the right ear. Right hand's on the block, coming into side angle pose. And do what works for you. Some of you will stay upright. Some of you might want to get fancy and balance both arms for fun. Do what feels good. 2 more breaths. Enjoy the left side body and the left waist. Huge breaths. Pour the breath in and out. Cartwheel back up to warrior two. Gaze over the right middle finger. Reach your arms to the sky. Turn your hips to face forward. Hop your left foot out. We're going to come into warrior one from here. Reaching your arms to the sky. Notice how it feels. Take a moment to adjust your feet. Your right toe is going to straight forward. Back toes are on a slight angle and your back heel's pressing to the floor but may not reach. Huge breath in and out. Bring your palms together, bringing them to heart center, pressing your thumbs into your sternum. Close your eyes and allow yourself to sink in and enjoy for a minute, noticing how you feel. Noticing any wiggles or any wobbles. Big breath in and out. Open your arms wide, palms will face front, arms are in a T. Wrap them around yourself and give yourself a huge hug. Wiggling your fingers to the inner medial edge of the scapula if you can. Without judgment, lift your elbows over your chest and round forward. Breathing into it, squeezing tight. Exhale, let it go. Bringing your chin back to neutral. Untangle your arms, pressing them wide into the side walls. Pinch your scapula. Exhale, release. Bringing your hands back to heart center. We're gonna tip into warrior 3 today. You can also just stay in warrior 1 or readjust. If it's fun for you, lift up onto your tiptoes of the back foot, shift your weight into the front foot. Press your hands into your sternum and tip your weight forward. Your toes may stay on the floor here, they may lift up an inch or 2 or all the way flat. Some of you may want to fly if that's fun. Letting yourself sink into it without judgment. Do what feels good, perhaps roll your wrists and your ankles. And when you feel complete, bring your hands back to heart center. Back foot down, coming into warrior 1. Bring your hands to the floor or the blocks. Step your back foot forward, coming into a forward fold. You can use your blocks if you wish. You can hang in ragdoll. You can put your head on a chair, whatever feels good. Let it be a release. And let yourself be in the moment. Right here, right now, with nothing to do but hanging upside down. Notice how you feel. Notice your breath. Notice the flow of things moving even as you're upside down. Generously bend your knees. Once again, nothing that hurts is fun or good for you or recommended in yoga. Breathing into every muscle that's waking up. Lifting up all 10 toes, wiggling them and lowering them down. Bring your hands to opposite elbow and have a sway if you're using blocks. Let yourself blow in the breeze, bending one knee and the other, shifting your weight a little bit. Release your head and neck. Lower left hand to the floor or a block. Straight your left leg, straight your left leg, bend your right knee. Right hand's gonna come to the block and you'll reach your left hand to the sky, coming into a twist. Roll the wrists in both directions. Switch sides. Left hand on the block, left knee bends, right knee straight, right arm reaches up, rolling it in both directions. And taking a moment to appreciate the humor of this position. If someone were to walk in and see you, that will bring a little lightness and playfulness into it. Bringing both hands back towards the floor, engage your belly and rolling up to stand inch by inch till you come to the top. Let yourself be messy and enjoy it. Let the sand, the blood flow, readjust. Coming all the way back down to your toes and your fingers. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Breathe in and out. Just notice how you feel. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top, checking in. Wishing yourself well, noticing how you feel. Letting go of any judgment of what worked or didn't work there. What you should or shouldn't have been able to do. What you did is perfect. Breathing in and breathing out. Open your eyes if they're closed, lower your hands. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Your palms will come together, slight arch back, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, use the blocks or not. Exhale, lower down. Step back to downward dog and pause. Take a moment to enjoy it. Let it be juicy, walk the dog, Move your hips. Come to stillness when that feels right. Taking good care of your wrists and your hands. Right ball mound presses into the floor, right leg is straight. Inhale into your solar plexus, belly button, navel. Raise the left leg to the sky. Stack your hips, open the front of the hip and roll that ankle. Play with it, enjoy it. Release your neck. Ankle and neck are rolling, releasing happy. Really enjoy the front of the left hip. Stretching it a little extra. Sometimes a little extra is fun and feels good. Re-square your hips. Huge breath in, straight your right heel leg towards the left leg. Wow, I'm completely backwards today. Huge breath in. Exhale, bring your foot between your hands, coming up into a high lunge. I'm gonna have to have loving amusement for that. Those of you who work with me know what that is. Non-judgment. Sometimes our brains are confused. Reaching your arms to the sky. Breathing in, stretching tall. Exhale, bend to the knee, high lunge. Enjoy it. Enjoy the right hip flexor. Using your glutes and your inner thighs to stabilize, widen your stance if you need to. Reach your arms tall. Inhale and exhale. Left thumb and middle finger, grab the right wrist. Tug to the left a slight bit and enjoy. Very little goes a long way here. Breathe, don't forget to breathe. Coming back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. Straight your front knee. And bend, coming into the flow. Close your eyes if you can. Notice if that's fun or too tippy. And do what works for you on this side. It might be different than the other side. Bend and straight front knee. Bend your front knee. Lower your hands to the floor. You'll hop your back foot forward quite a bit. Coming into a pyramid pose. Both legs are straight. Your hands are on blocks. Inhale for a half lift. Your back is flat. Exhale, melt forward over the blocks, over your front leg. And enjoy the energetic shifts here. Lift up all 10 toes, stretch them wide. Lower them down. Shift your weight forward and backwards, inviting the playfulness and the flow and the lightness. Coming back to center. Inhale for a half lift, back is flat, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, folding over that front leg, releasing once again. Enjoying the letting go. Using these moments to let flow happen between each cell, each muscle fiber. Letting it all happen, giving up the control. Remembering to breathe. The breath is a facilitator of flow and of fun and of connection. It's essential to feel playful and light. Your breathing almost has to be playful and light. Bend your front knee, walk your blocks forward. We're going to come into the standing L once again. You'll raise your right leg to hip height if you can, and balance. If you wish, you can walk the right block a little more midline and raise your left hand. Enjoy those wiggles and wobbles, release fingers, no gripping. Release, roll, play with it. Coming back to your standing L, drop the right foot to the floor, coming into warrior two. Cartwheel your arms open. Readjust your feet however they need to be readjusted, letting go of any judgment of how that L turned out, how the balance turned out. Standing tall, grow your torso towards the sky. Exhale, sink into that front knee. Breathe into it. Flip the left palm towards the sky, drop your right hand down, the back leg, arch open into peaceful, elegant, graceful warrior. Enjoy the front rib cage, allowing the breath to flow through all the lines of the body here. Cartwheel back to warrior two for a moment. Come into side angle, grab a block, bring your hand to your thigh, if that works. Reaching over your right ear, making sure you're not dumping into the left knee, be kind. Stretch and enjoy the right waist, right outer foot pressing into the earth, right fingers wiggling playfully towards the front. Cartwheel open, let it be fun. Reach your arms to the sky, pop your right foot out, coming into warrior one. It'll be a wider stance, a shorter stance. Hips will be facing front. Arms will reach towards the sky, and take a minute to find your spot there. Breathing in and out, reaching tall in this warrior one. Open your arms wide, palms face front. Wrap them in the opposite direction you did last time. Give yourself a huge hug. Squeezing, reaching for the inner medial scapula. Huge breath in, squeezing tight, tight, tight. Exhale, drop your chin into the cradle of your arms. Squeeze tighter. One more breath here. Give yourself a huge bear hug, enjoying it. Chin back to neutral, untangle. Stretch the arms wide. Palms into the side walls, pinch your scapula. Release, enjoy. Bring your hands to heart center, thumb press into the sternum, palms together. Enjoy the skin to skin for a moment. Huge breath in and out. You can stay here and relax here, or if you want to shift your weight forward, tipping into warrior three, feel free. Your back foot may rise a little, not at all, doesn't matter. Press the thumbs into your sternum and enjoy it. And no judgment if it's different than the other side. On any given day, things will look different. If your back foot is off the ground, roll the ankle. Release it, any tightness. Lower the back foot. Reach your arms to the sky. Fold forward, hop the back foot forward, coming into a forward fold. And fully release here, hang. Bend one knee and the other, bend both. Let your head fall forward. See what it feels like to straighten both knees. Twist at the waist. Come to stillness. Bend your knees and roll up. Inviting rolling in the spine, movement between each vertebrae, letting them restack, realign comfortably, and arrive standing. Let the blood flow, readjust. And when you feel ready, we will come down to lie on the floor again. Bend your knees. Coming back to almost where we started. Give yourself a moment to arrive. Arrive on the mat. Let your breath slow. Notice how you feel. Lots of things used today, engaged, awakened. Lots of energetic flow moving, more so than usual. Wiggling fingers and toes. Bring your right ankle atop the left knee. We're going to come into figure four. Some of you will stay here and gently press into the right knee. Others will thread your hands around the left thigh, pick up the left foot, press your right elbow into the right knee. Or you can grab your right shin. Roll your ankles here. Try to roll your ankles in opposite directions, letting your brain concentrate. Release the left thigh, lower the foot to the floor, reach your arms overhead, huge inhale. Drop your knees to the left, coming into a figure four twist. Outer edge of the left foot, left thigh will be on the floor, right sole of the foot will be maybe on the floor. And enjoy your right hip, right waist. And if this doesn't work for you, you can untangle and stack your knees. Or stay in a figure four. Either one, all are good. What's right is to notice what works for your body and do that. And breathe. Bring your knees back to center. Untangle your feet and cross in the opposite direction, left ankle over right knee. Thread your hands through if that's what works for your body. Roll your ankles, enjoy the stretch in the left hip. Lots of movement and flow here. When you're ready, you'll release the back of your thigh, lower your right foot to the floor, arms reach above, drop to the right, coming into a figure four stretch here and enjoying it. If it's not enjoyable, reorganize, restack your hips, find a different twist. Let the breath slow. Breathe. Pour the breath in. Envision it like honey or maple syrup. Come back to center. Untangle. And we're going to come into Shavasana. If you need to do anything first, because your body calls for that, go for it. If you need to grab a blanket or a bolster, do that to lie comfortably. Or if you want to do a minimalist Shavasana with nothing, feel free. Extend your legs long, letting them fall towards the outer edge of the mat. I do invite you today to set yourself up on the mat so you notice that you are safely on the mat. Come back to the breath, take in a big deep inhale. And then exhale, release, and let yourself melt into the mat. Bring your hands to the outer edge of your mat and just hold on to your mat lightly. Taking in another breath. And an exhale, release, letting that mat hold you. And imagine that that mat is lifting up off the floor as you lie on it. The mat is holding you safely, letting you float like a magic carpet. And that mat is carrying you somewhere beautiful, perhaps over the ocean to a Hawaiian island, perhaps to your favorite lake or pond or view. Let it carry you somewhere that feels amazing, somewhere that you would just like to go for a few moments to look at, to feel as if you were there again. Enjoying your magic carpet ride, floating safely amidst the clouds. Looking down on wherever that sweet, lovely spot is, spot that brings you joy, makes you feel alive. Remembering the fun. And as you rest, your carpet
safely carries you through the clouds, through the blue sky, no storm clouds, back to the room you're in, and you land gently on the floor, on your mat, resettling in. Release your hands from the mat and rest for a moment.
Feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you want. That is one of the beauties of Zoom and YouTube yoga. If you're ready to come out, gently deepen the breath, ever so slowly. Inviting that consciousness back into your body. Wiggling fingers and toes lightly. Enjoying how you feel. Stretching your arms long above, toes long in front. Take a huge drink of breath, filling every nook and cranny. Exhale, let it out. You'll roll to one side and or come up to a seat directly. Do whatever feels good to you. We're all different. When you arrive, find your sit bones, reconnect them into the floor. Bring your hands to your thighs, palms open. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward. Align your spine. Reach the crown of your head to the sky. Huge drink of breath in. Letting it pour out smoothly. Closing eyes if it's comfortable. Bring a hand to heart and another hand atop. Remembering you have a heart. Inviting a bit of playfulness, connection, and flow into that heart space. Treating your heart as you go forward to a little bit more fun. What would that feel like, be like? Could you enjoy it, create it, welcome it, embrace it, notice it? Huge deep breath in and a huge exhale. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all have a beautiful, fun-filled week ahead, wherever you may be.